Hi guys, we're late this morning, but we promised we were going to talk about long arming today, and so we're downstairs in the long arm department. Back here we have 3 computerized machines that our long armers use in-house to do your quilts, and then we have 1 machine over here that's not computerized that's for rental. And Jen teaches an Innova certification class that allows you to use the machine, and
with that class comes a 10-hour punch card.
yeah, so the class is $200. It comes with essentially a $150 punch card to use the long arm. Jen can't help herself but try and progress this quilt.
Things along.
Okay, so what's a long arm? It's a sewing machine with a really long arm. Okay, that's what this part is. Here, let me adjust this.
Sorry about the movement.
When we talk about the arm of a machine,
It's this.
it's this piece right here, okay? That is the arm of a machine. So a long arm has literally a long arm, okay? That sounds, sorry, I'm not being condescending, but that's what it is. And the beauty of a long arm machine is that it can sew this whole big area all at once, okay? And our domestic machines have a much smaller throat, which is what we call it on a domestic machine, but it's the arm of the machine. And so it's harder to get in there and to do big sections at a time. And that's the advantage of a long arm. Now, there's 2 different kinds of long arms out there in the world. There's a million different brands out there, but there's a couple different kinds. You can have your long arm set up at a table where you sit at it, in which case you move the fabric like you would on a domestic machine, okay? Ours are not set up that way. They're on a table, but ours are set up to where the more traditional version, where the machine itself moves and the fabric
stays put.
doesn't move, okay? So that's the idea. I'm going to move this a little bit more again. Sorry. But okay, so when we load a quilt on a long arm, I want you guys to understand how this works. We have people with questions all the time, which please ask your questions.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know until you've done it, so why would you know? When we quilt on a long arm, it's a totally different process than when we quilt on a domestic machine at home. At home, you're making the quilt sandwich, you're pinning it or basting it all together, and then sewing it. On a long arm, we're gonna load it in 3 separate layers. Each layer gets loaded individually, so please don't sandwich your quilt top ahead of time, okay? It does not help. We load the back gets loaded onto 2 rails here, okay? And so when we're working on our domestic machines, we can get away with having just a little bit of extra backing. For the long arm, because I need to load it front and side and even to the sides, we want 4 extra inches of backing all the way around your quilt. So if your quilt is 72 by 80, your back needs to be 80 by 88, okay? Add 8 inches to whatever the size of your quilt top is. That's how big your back needs to be.
Right.
Okay, and that is so that we have room to load top and bottom. And it's also so I have room
to clamp on the side.
to clamp on the side.
The clamping on the side helps things stay consistent. It's not about making it tight. It's about holding it up so that, I'm going to show you guys this. We have a thing that comes under here. I don't want this table right here catching on things. Okay? So it's about holding it up because gravity is going to try and pull it down. So that's why we clamp the sides. It gets really expensive when I have to pay my wonderful, talented long armers to be clamps.
To be a clamp, which is what we have to do if your
if there's
quilt
not
back's
enough.
not big enough.
So, yeah, we don't like that. So, just 4 inches all the way
That's why
around.
we ask for 4 inches all the way around. That is standard in the long arming industry.
Some people might tell you they need a little less. If it's your friend who's like, it's okay, I can do it with just 2. I always ask people, how much do you like your long armor?
And to be honest, if it's for myself once in a while and I am willing to deal with it being a pain,
I'll do
and that's what I have, I'll do a little less.
But I've also gotten to the point that I like myself enough that
Yeah, I give myself like 6 inches all the way around because it just simplifies my life.
Yep.
As the long armor
Right.
who long arms my quilts, right? Okay, batting also has to be bigger. Okay,
Bigger than the quilt.
bigger than the quilt top.
Quilt top.
It doesn't necessarily have to be quite as big as the back. Okay.
Nope.
But 3 extra inches all the way around is safe on your batting. Okay. Almost every long armor, us included, we sell batting as well. or you can bring your own. You're totally entitled to bring your own batting.
This batting right here was brought by
This is a
customer.
Warm and Natural, I believe, which is a totally good batting. And so what I know is I didn't sell this to her because I don't sell that. The batting that we do sell is,
We have a few different kinds.
we have 2 brands that we sell in-house.
Primarily, we sell
Quilter's Dream.
This is the 4-ounce cotton, which is going to be your comparable to a Warm and Natural. So we have cotton. We have cotton in 3 different weights: 3-ounce, 4-ounce, and 6-ounce.
And 6 ounce,
because
which
we
is
want
their
heavier.
deluxe cotton.
We also carry it in the 4-ounce in white. We carry 80/20.
So
which
what
is
I want to show you guys, this is a bleached white batting, okay?
versus this
Versus
natural.
the natural batting. Your white batting is going to be a tad bit thinner because it's been bleached to death.
And it is a little more expensive.
And it's a little bit more expensive because there's that extra process because wool, as we know from sheep
That's wool. That's cotton.
or whatever, and even cotton,
isn't
okay?
white.
Cotton isn't white either. Cotton's off white. So we
That's
have to
bleached.
bleach it.
So we only use the bleached white when
When it's
called
necessary.
for. But we do also have a bleached white option in the 80/20. But then the 80/20 natural is probably what we use the most here in this shop.
So this is their 80/20 natural. I love this batting. I actually do. I used it on pretty much all of my own quilts until we started having rolls of other stuff at your house.
I have a roll of something else at my home, and so that's what we use primarily.
But
now.
it's 80% cotton, 20% polyester. Once again, modern polyester is not your grandma's polyester. They are not created equal. Modern polyester is almost cotton.
And the beauty of the little bit of polyester in it, one, it's less expensive.
It's a little cheaper.
But really, it helps it drape really nicely. You don't get the like perma crease.
Have you ever had a quilt and you have it done and you fold it up and you unfold it and those fold lines will not go away? That's the cotton, okay? That 20% of polyester is going to solve that problem, okay?
It's
and
awesome.
so Jen and I, not just because we're cheap, but because we like that not being a problem, I'm an
recommend it.
80/20 girl over the cotton. Cotton's great though. Love cotton.
Every time. Other things we carry, wool. We carry the Quilter's Dream wool. I love it because it is lofty. So I grew up with a grandma who made her quilts with the polyester batting that was like approximately this thick. So I think quilts should be puffy. They should have some loft to it. But I love the natural wool. It's like the miracle material. It's warm when it's cold and cool when it's hot. And
It breathes beautifully and it's totally washable, okay?
it's this I can put in my dryer.
Washable and dryable, okay? That's the question I get all the time about wool.
Not all wool battings are like that.
No, but the Quilter's Dream wool is fabulous, which is why we carry it. Listen, we have
Kids and animals.
and we've experimented with a lot of things. Listen, I have a lot of quilts with Warm and Natural on them. They're fine, okay? And long arming for other people, we have touched every batting known to man, probably.
many times.
And we have our preferences because
We've used them all.
we've used them all, okay? And
I love this stuff.
and batting is, I say it all the time, batting is a structural element of your quilt, okay? Think about concrete without rebar versus concrete with rebar. And if you don't understand the difference, Sarita can explain it to you. But when we put rebar in concrete, it's to strengthen the concrete so that it can handle forces from every direction, okay? Batting in your quilt is a structural element to your quilt. It's going to be a part of what holds that quilt together. And so when we use cheap batting or batting that's going to fall apart, what we're doing is we are decreasing the life of our quilt.
Yeah.
And so
You should be able, I mean, even this right here, you should be able to tug on a batting
Without it
without
tearing.
creating a hole.
if you have their Dream
can't-
Bamboo too.
We do have the Dream Bamboo, which is a silk tencel bamboo blend.
Okay.
And then we also have a polyester puff, which is
The puff.
It's puff, but it's not my grandma's puff, so I really do like it.
Okay, the only other brand of batting we carry is Winline, and we carry their bamboo batting exclusively, and it comes in a 4-ounce and a 6-ounce.
The 6 ounce is just thicker.
6 ounces thicker. It's that little bit of puff. Jen and I put 6 ounce on everything because that's the roll that we have at her house, and because we love it.
I mean, I could put another roll at my house,
But we don't because it's our favorite. I would be, right? Okay, I'd be lying to say it's not our favorite. My mom likes the 4-ounce bamboo. Everyone, I don't know. You're welcome to have whatever opinion you want of the subject. If you want to know what the bamboo feels like, come in and ask, and we will let you feel it.
it's on the rolls up
It's on the rolls up front. There, it's fabulous. You can like pull at it; it will not tear. It's bamboo is such a strong fiber.
Yep.
That it makes, and somehow it's soft too. It's
It feels
magic,
silky, and then it just drapes.
and it drapes
So like
so
Liz,
beautifully.
who likes to quilt the bejesus out of
I
things.
like really dense quilting.
It still drapes nicely.
Whereas if I do it on a puffy cotton, it does stiff
becomes
as
a
a board.
table topper.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't go around the table.
But the bamboo is still so drapey and beautiful and soft and won't get the permacrease. So Windline Bamboo is the other one we sell because we love it.
Right.
Okay, so when you bring in a quilt for quilting, you need to have the quilt top finished.
Ooh, I'm gonna grab a fork.
Hopefully square-ish, you know. Make sure you have your extra threads cut, trimmed. You know, it needs to be ready. If it's got a pieced border or a very pieced edge, a victory lap is recommended. That's a basting stitch, about
Around
an
the
eighth of an inch
outside.
in, all the way around the outside. And that's because, as you can see, we are going to scroll it and put pressure on that edge. And we don't want those seams to come apart.
Nope.
Right? Okay, so this is our quilting form. We've got very talented quilters here.
Updated online too.
They're over here working, and we're
In their
invading
way.
their space. But our form's available online. They're laughing because they know we're invading their space, and they don't love it. That's okay. Your backing, your batting, you can choose your thread color. We have lots of thread colors to choose from, or you can always leave it up to them. Our quilters know what they're doing. They've been doing this for quite a while. Even the teenagers know what they're doing. Just as an FYI, they're all pretty good at picking thread and whatnot. And we have hundreds of pantographs, quilting designs for you to choose from. And once again, if you don't want to choose, you don't have to. We will choose something that we think goes great with it. It's totally up to you. So when you come in, we measure everything. You pick your back, you pick your thread, or you let us pick your thread. It's totally up to you. And the pantograph. The backing, we have a lot of backings here, and we still have our backing promo going on for if you're dropping off a quilt here. So whether it's minky, a wide back, or yardage, you can get 30% off your back when you drop off a quilt this month. And we put that on there. We talk about whether or not the top and the back are directional. Like, does this have to be oriented a specific way, or does it not matter? These are good things for us to know, okay?
Because sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not obvious and it's really subtle, and I don't want to mess it up. We want you to be happy when we're done with the quilt, right?
Right.
Okay, we do offer binding services. Having your quilt bound is about as expensive as having it quilted, just FYI. And we are happy to do it for you, and we do lots of it, but yeah. It's not $20 when we're done, okay? That's what I'm going to tell you. And then we trim quilts for free. Squaring them up is a little bit more. And one of these days, Jen and I will talk about the difference between trimming and squaring up again.
Right.
We've done it before years ago, but it's there. And then we just have you sign it and drop it off. And these ladies work really hard and trim it up and get it done, and it's a lot of fun.
You come back and it's ready to
You
go.
come back and it's all ready to pick up in a nice bag for you to take home and finish, or whatever you decide to do with it. But let's see, anything else I need to tell them? We use Anova long arms here, right? That's the brand of a long arm we have, is the Anova.
And our timeout will vary a little bit from time to time. Just depends on how many quilts are in our queue. I'm picking threads off the quilt and she's picking threads off of me.
No, putting hair off your back.
Oh, or hair. But we do try and we can give you a pretty good estimate when you come in, or if you want to know ahead of time, you can call. We do also offer a rush So if you're like, hey, I got a baby shower, it's in 10 days or something, let us know when you come in. We'll talk. And
we accept quilts in the mail.
we do accept quilts in the mail.
We do. In fact, I think we got one the other day. Anyway, but that's long arming. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. We will try our best to answer. Jen's trying to get this place just right so that she can quilt as much of it as humanly possible in one go. And she can't not work while she's supposed to be working on a video.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah. She's right here not doing the job she's supposed to be doing because she's busy doing something else. And that's my life with her. Anyway, thanks for checking in. We'll see you later.